Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight on the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two hosts, Mr. E.L. Discipline, and with him always, Sujey Sotomayor. Before we start off the podcast, the show, you know how we do. I'm going to clear the energy. Damn, I got stronger with this. All right. And also, I just wanted to point out this amazing shirt that I have. These shirts are from the Mile Higher podcast, and it's a collaboration they have with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, so NCMEC. All the proceeds go directly to NCMEC, and a special shout out to Kendall Ray, who continues to show support and raise funds for this amazing organization. So if you guys are ever feeling generous and looking for a good charity, this is the one. They do amazing work, and you can guarantee your money's going to be put to good use. So once again, this is the shirt. Every child deserves a safe childhood. I like that. So big shout out to them. Mile Higher Podcast. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know you're fiends and you know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we are on Patreon for exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation prepare your mind to be fed. Like one inhale life and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here. All right. And we're here with season 11, episode 114. What's a whole phase? And with us, we have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi, I am. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on the show.
Mhm.
Did you hear the topic?
I did, yes.
Okay. And in your opinion, what's a whole phase?
So a whole phase, I think a lot of people look at it, obviously as being promiscuous or having a lot of partners and things like that. But I really feel like it's dependent on kind of the relationship maybe that you're coming out of, kind of where you are in life, your age, your career, the level of maturity that you are at that time. And just kind of what you're looking for, for myself, I rushed into, getting married. I felt like I was getting older. I needed to have kids and all these things. And so I didn't end up in the best situation. So for me, coming out of an abusive relationship, it wasn't about, who could I sleep with? It wasn't, whatever. It was more so like finding myself again. Who do I attract? And, when I go out, or do I attract the people that, I would be interested in? Or, it was just more so finding myself, my confidence, just looking at different people and saying, what do they bring to the table? Because like as women, we're pretty confident when we go out that we can fuck. I'm sorry if that's too like
Vulgar? No judgment here.
Okay, so it's like, yeah, so it's like when we go out, men, you get ready to go out. A lot of times they're like, oh, let's see if I can get some tonight. Well, most of the time, women, we know we can. So for me, it was like, what else do you have? There's so much penis in the world, to say it nicely. What else do you bring to the table? And my thing is like, can you fuck me mentally? Is like, can you fuck my mind? And that's my thing, So it was just more so looking for something that was different, something that was intriguing, intellectually, and just looking at what else there was out there, if that makes sense.
Where did you learn that from?
Learn what?
Where did you learn I need to go out there and learn what I attract, what I don't attract, find myself? Like, where did you learn that from?
So I think, I don't know, it's just an internal thing. Just, what you attract kind of says a lot about you too. And it's, what am I doing that attracts this type of person, or what am I not? Which again, you can attract anyone for whatever reason. But if you have a consistent kind of person or kind of, whatever, that tells me that there's something in me that I need to work on that is attracting, something in someone else. Like my trauma may be attracting someone else's trauma. So it was more so, looking more internally than trying to say, oh, this guy has this or this guy has that. Why am I attracting this type of person?
Right. Do you think women deserve a pass for their whole phase or their whole years?
Absolutely. I don't think that anyone can sit back and just say, oh, she did this and this and this, she should be condemned. Men, it's
Why?
not ever looked as a whole phase.
Why not?
Like,
why not?
it's just for what? Like, who are you to sit here and say, oh, you did this, so you're less worthy of this, or, to hold something against someone in a time that, they were doing what they emotionally or mentally felt like they needed to do, to get through that moment. So
They don't have to be anybody though. It could be the homeless man on the street that's judging you. Like, do you
no,
feel you're projecting right now?
what do you mean?
Because you're like, she shouldn't get judged for her past. But who are you to do that? You understand what I'm saying? Why does she deserve a pass?
Why doesn't she? I guess is my question. Like, why does anyone, I'm not saying man, woman, anyone, like, who am I to say what someone did in their past life is, I don't know. I just don't feel like I have that power over people to sit here when I know I'm not living a perfect life. Like, I'm not going to hold something against someone that, I'm just doing the best I can. Most people are just doing the best they can with life and the situations that they're in, so.
Right. It's
Okay.
like it's not fair to judge her over something that she did in the past, kind of.
Okay.
Right.
Do men deserve to exercise their options once they level up?
What do you mean by that? Do you
Which part?
So once they level up as far as what?
Whatever capacity. Maybe he gets his finances up, physique,
Spirituality,
his knowledge of relationship, like he's healed, he feels he's healed, and now he's ready to go out there and love somebody because he loves himself. In order to love somebody, you gotta love yourself. So he feels like he could do that now, like he's leveling up spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. Once he feels like at that pinnacle of his life, career, whatever, does he deserve to exercise his options?
Absolutely. I think, once you get to a point where you are that elevated, especially, spiritually, you're going to have that spirit of discernment where, you're going to be able to see through things, without even trying. It'll just be so clear. And that's how it is when you have that kind of, spiritual, heightened, I don't know how to say it, but when you're that in tune with, the Lord and, your spiritual being, it's obvious. And I don't think, when you're at that point, when you get to a point with someone where they're vulnerable enough to tell you, about their past and things like that, I think they're probably at a place where they're mature enough to handle, things. So I don't know that necessarily you saying, oh, well, because you told me you had a hoe phase or you did this, this, and this, that just takes you off the table. Unless she's still mentally in that place. Now, if that's still what she's doing and that's still how she is, then absolutely that you have every right to say, that's not the lifestyle that I want to live or, the kind of partner that I want. But if it's something that she's healed as well and she's moved past, then I don't see why, there would be a reason to hold it against her when that's not who she is anymore.
Should a man have a high body count or practice more sexual discipline? And why, for whatever answer you give?
I don't necessarily think you need a high body count. I think it's weird because society doesn't look at men as, being whatever, if they have a high body count, being a hoe or being, it's just like, oh, he gets women. And it's almost like praised, So that to me isn't necessarily a turn on. Like just because you can get it, like to me, it's more of a turn on that you can get it and you still choose not to because you're looking for something else. You want more. That it's just the physical or you don't have to have it just because you can kind of thing. So I do appreciate the discipline in that.
Okay.
Is it like recommended?
I think that's just dependent on the person, and like you said, you get to make that judgment of who you're with, and so does the woman. And if that's, if he relays that he has a high body count, and that's just not really something she's interested in. I think that just kind of again plays into who they are as people and what they're willing to accept at that point.
Would you care?
It would depend on the circumstances, I think.
So in what circumstance would you care?
So like, how high are we talking? Because I mean, like, this body count, like, I understand, like, you know.
So it does. I mean, it does.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Yes or no answer.
Okay.
If a man has really good in bed, he has great sexual prowess, great sexual experiences. Obviously, he had to practice to get to that level. Whether it's with the same woman for a long amount of time, different positions, whatever, many times, or different partners. Okay? And a woman is the same way. Now, you subjectively speaking for you, you know, I'm going to assume you're heterosexual. So men for you, not women.
I've been with women.
Okay,
it's not
maybe that's a different topic.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to say men, right?
Okay.
All right, men. So if you want, okay, first of all, let me ask you this before I even get into this. In the bedroom, and you complete a fifth, do you want to be controlled or do you want to dominate?
Both.
Okay, so there's a switch. All right. So which one do you lean towards more?
I'm more dominant. I don't think I've really found a man that has more experience. I think it's always been I'm the one, you know, pushing for more. So yeah.
So it wouldn't matter to you.
Yeah, I don't think someone, you know, actually being able to dominate me in that, or, you know, whatever, be able to kind of get to that point. I don't think that would be a turn off, no.
Okay, so and that's also because she's a switch. She wouldn't mind taking the lead in the bedroom.
Okay.
Okay, so that all right. That kind of negates what I'm saying. So I guess subjectively, like, it would work. Okay. But I know most women, no.
Why should women be traditional when there's more rewards from most men in being promiscuous or the whole? I don't understand the question. Did I?
So so here's the thing. If men are marrying the hoes, engaging with more of the hoes, liking the hoes' pictures and whatever it is, women being out there and being fun and interesting, why even be boring and traditional? Why should women be traditional if the hoes are getting the most attention, the most wifed, the most sex, the most whatever?
But you know, flies, you know, are attracted to poop. So it's like, it's because you get a lot of attention doesn't mean you're getting the right attention.
That's true.
You know, I think being, you know, a respectful woman and having boundaries and being able to say, you know, I'm not going to be on that level. I'm not going to act like this. I'm going to hold myself to a certain standard. You're going to attract, you might not attract all the flies, but you're going to attract, you know, something else that's going to be better for you ultimately. Like, just because you don't have a million likes on social media or whatever, you know, that doesn't make you different. That doesn't make you less. It just shows that, you know, you're just not easy. You're not out there. Like, people don't have that much access to you. So when they have access to you, that's when they flock. They want to know. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. I believe if a man's heterosexual, he desires multiple women. What may stop a man from doing this? From being with multiple women? Like, what would make a man not be with multiple women?
Honestly, as a woman, I don't know that I can tell you that. I mean, I feel like, you know, you can be the best person that you can be. You can be faithful. You can be loyal. You can be respectful. But at the end of the day, it's just dependent on that man's mindset. And is he willing to, you know, put in the work with the one that he has? Or is he just, you know, does he have the self-control, or, you know, the strength to be able to not pursue many other women. I don't know.
He's
I
putting
think
in
it's
the
dependent on the man.
he's putting in the work with the woman that he has, but he
Mm-hmm.
has another one or two he connects with. What would make a
Mm-hmm.
man not want to live this lifestyle of polyamory, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would
Hmm.
think just having a relationship with the Lord, and that to me in itself, like the conviction in that would is ultimately, I think, the only thing that would, be able to break that fleshly desire to want to be with multiple people.
So religion?
Religion is, I don't,
You
you're
mentioned the
scaring.
Lord, that's why I
I know
asked.
what I'm saying. Like, it's just so, that to me would be honestly the only way I could see. Because how else are you going to have the discipline or this, to say, I don't know, like a woman can be everything you want, and a man will still look for he still finds something else in someone else. I don't know. I don't really know that I'm the one that can answer that.
Okay. If women want men to commit to them, or they want to get a ring, because most women won't subject themselves to getting the ring or asking a man to marry them or even getting on one knee.
Mm-hmm.
They still want to be treated traditionally. Should they be more on their best behavior than men? Should they carry themselves in a traditional way to get the man they want to attract?
In traditional, you mean conservative? Is that what you're saying as far
Yeah,
as
yeah.
like, okay. Again, I guess it's just dependent on who they want to attract, what they like, I think if you're putting yourself out there, I don't think a lot of men will want to wife a woman who is just
There
for
you go.
everyone.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the answer. That's the
Okay.
answer. There you
Yeah.
go. Um, do you think women want to be objectified and used as sexual objects, or do they want to be kept? Maybe it's both. What do you think?
I was gonna say it could be both. I don't think women want to be objectified just as sexual objects. Uh, I think someone that can make. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I need to gather my thoughts.
Okay.
So with that, I think if you can make it in a sense where it's a safe place where you do feel kept, but you can make you know it's hard to express that. It's like kind of both. It's just, but in a safe space, if that makes sense.
Okay.
All right. If women don't know how to attract men, what will they do to attract them?
There's only a few ways a woman can attract a man.
With their body language. I
E-
mean, I don't know,
e-
but you're saying you don't know how to attract a man. So if she doesn't know how,
yes,
what is she?
most women do not know how. That's why they
Okay.
revert back to their sexuality. They use their beauty.
Mm-hmm.
They use puppy dog eyes and guilt tripping perhaps or whatever it is, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna break down nature of men and women today.
Okay.
The things that men gonna attract women or use to attract women, women can't do that to attract men. So if I'm talking to you and we first meet and I'm telling you about my accolades, how much money I make a year, what I've
Mm-hmm.
done, I got a master's degree, like I'm just going into like status and material, that might attract
Mm-hmm.
you because you're thinking of survival. Oh, I could build with this guy. He got his money right. So if a woman does that, she's not gonna get a lot of men that's gonna be interested in that. He's not
You
gonna
think
care about.
so?
He's not gonna unless he needs her. He like
Right.
doesn't do shit, play video games all day, don't got his own money.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's gonna care about her money. He's gonna
Mm.
care about that. She even got a mind. Most men don't
Mm-hmm.
care that women are intelligent.
Right.
They don't care how many degrees you have because they're not thinking on a I want to latch on to that because I see survival, I see stability. That's women's nature.
Mm.
Women practice hypergamy more than men. So that's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying. Some guys, yes, if he needs you, but most
Mm-hmm.
men that already got their own, no. So I'm looking at it like most women do not know how to attract men. So if they don't know how to attract men, what would they do to attract them?
That
Let's
is
say
tough.
we take away, let's say we take away her beauty and her body. So she doesn't send him a booty picture, titties. She doesn't talk about her sexual prowess. Oh, I could suck your soul. She does
Mm-hmm.
nothing sexual. How is she gonna attract the man? I want to know. Because a lot of women don't.
I mean, I feel like you don't have to. I just think,
You
your
you
aura, your
do. You
personality
do need to
will
attract them.
attract.
The feminine is built to attract. So I'm
Right,
just
but I
saying,
don't think
how
it's.
would she? How would she attract them? By just like being cute and just going like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here at the bar. Hopefully somebody will come up to me.
No, I think you shouldn't have to sit here and say, how do I attract someone? I think, just being yourself, you shouldn't go out like, okay, let's see. I don't know. It just, at some point, you're you enjoy the moment, and then I feel like people will be attracted to, who you are, your personality, like
Like your
just,
spirit?
yeah, your spirit versus, what cause you're taking beauty and things out of it. So at that point, you just have to look at the inside and your personality, your laugh, the way you
Do
do
Your
you
things is
character and
going to
stuff.
attract someone.
do you think most men are doing that?
Do I think most men are what?
Are doing that?
Uh, I think I don't know that most men are, but I think there are men out there that
Okay,
do, look for other
that's
things.
fair. What would make a woman even develop a whole phase? What would be the cause of this?
Oh,
Uh,
man.
I would say definitely like for me coming out like from what every it would be like a long-term relationship has been my thing. You put so much into one person for so long. You're not out there entertaining other people. You're not doing other things. You're solely committed to one person for so long with zero effort, that no results. You're trying to fix and you're trying to do this. And it just becomes exhausting. So I think once women get to that point where we're just done, there's really no coming back. So at that point it's that freedom. It's that I can do what I want now. I'm no longer tied to this emotional baggage that's draining. It's I can be free. I can talk to who I want. I can see who I want to see. I can make random trips.
Mm.
It's that kind of thing.
How can men can men be hoes?
Can men be hoes?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
How would a person get out of the whole phase?
I think that's just, I mean, either they find someone that kind of settles them down or they just mentally decide that, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to, keep entertaining all these people. It can be mentally draining to try to keep up with, you know, this and that and the other. So at some point, you're just, let me focus on myself. Let me do my thing. The rest will come when it comes. I think it's
How,
a mental thing.
how long do you think like a whole phase lasts?
I think it's dependent on the person, but I don't know, few months, a summer. I don't know. A lot of times people just have little phases. So
Mm. So
I
it,
think it
like,
really depends on, mentally.
14? No,
okay.
because she's not a man.
Okay. Okay, so a woman who's married and has two husbands, or has multiple boyfriends, is this a whole phase? And is she considered a whole?
Uh, do they know about each other?
Hmm. I'm gonna go with yeah.
Then it
Actually, I don't know.
sounds
Hold on,
more.
let me ask him. Do they know each other?
Who?
Like, if the woman who has two husbands, do the husbands know about each other?
I'm
Does-
not answering that.
What do
Let's
you
go
mean?
with
So how do
yes.
I
The
answer?
husbands know about each other.
Okay, then I wouldn't consider it a whole phase, I guess, because it seems like they're in a polygamous relationship at that point. If they know about each other, they have to be accepting. So I wouldn't call that a whole phase, no.
Okay, so multiple boyfriends. So if they know about each other, it's not a whole phase. But if they don't know about each other,
Well, you're saying husband. That's like a commitment
that
thing.
yeah. Okay, so what about if it's boyfriends?
Boyfriends, I mean, I don't know, because once you call someone a boyfriend, I feel like it's just like it's more title than anything. So once you start having all these titles with people, I think that gets messy. So yeah, that can be. probably attached to the whole phase. Yeah.
Should we label people?
I don't think so, but we are. We do. I mean,
So you don't think so? If not, why are people in the LGBT community, they want to be labeled as a certain identity? There's non-binary, stuff of that nature.
mhm.
Like, why is that okay? Like, why are some women also labeled as like strong, independent boss bitches?
Yeah. I think it's recognition, maybe. Like, it's who you are, as okay, I can't speak too much on the LGBTQ plus community because I'm not, 100%, I don't clear on, non-binary and things like that. And I don't want to offend anyone at all. But speaking as, a woman, who has been labeled strong, independent, things like that, I think when you've had to fight for that, it's just more so, uh, it's more so for her, like, you know, like to keep going kind of thing. It's like you have to be. There's no, I don't know that it has to be labeled. You just are, but society's gonna label things anyways. We need titles, we need to know, we need clarity. So we're gonna label things, but it just is what it is.
Do you think we should bring shaming back?
Shaming?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever left. I think we still shame people all the time.
Do you think that help like with change? If you shame somebody because they're doing something wrong, do you think that will help them change?
No, I think we're told to just love people for who they are, and love is enough to help people. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, because you live this lifestyle, you're not worthy of whatever. Like, I'm not that, I'm not able, I'm not spiritual, I'm not God, I'm not that kind of person. So I'm just commanded to love you, love thy neighbor, and that's it. Like, that's what I'm commanded to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And the rest is up to you and who you pray to at that point or don't.
We got 3 more questions. We did a topic about this in TikTok Live. Do you believe you can turn a hoe into a housewife?
I think people think hoe is like just women who are just out there that just seek like sex or something like that, but I think it's misconstrued because a woman who goes through a hoe phase, she may not even be sleeping with these people. She may just be dating a different guy every day. This guy wants to go to dinner on Tuesday, this other guy wants to go on Wednesday. It's just that to me is not necessarily like everyone else might look at it as a hoe because she's entertaining a lot of men, but she's not physically with them. It's just learning them. So I think at that point, you may consider her a hoe, but she may just be finding, the right husband. So does that make her a bad wife because she's dating around, even though she isn't sleeping with them? She's learning what she likes and she knows what she wants and doesn't want. So she's able to cut it out and move on to the next. Like, I think that says a lot about a person versus someone just out there sleeping around just for that kind of attention or just to attract a man.
Okay. So promiscuous versus polyamorous, are they similar or different?
Oh no, that's definitely different.
What's the difference?
With polyamorous, you're committed to each other. You're not out here just sleeping with everyone. That's not a relationship. That's a relationship. Being promiscuous is just being out there with a lot of people. There's no connection. There's no.
Well, we just want to thank you for coming on the show and voicing your perspective. Really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, for sure.
All right. Have a good night, okay?
You guys too.
All right, bye-bye. All right.
We're going to get into it.
Let's go. All right. So
What is a hoe
clearly
phase?
I was super confused because I like when she was towards the end, because she said, for her, and I was like, wait, what? So for me,
For her what?
because no, when she was like, well, when I, a whole phase might not even be people sleeping around. It could just be people dating. I was like, oh, okay, because she had mentioned herself.
It's funny. I have the same thing.
And I was like very confused because to me, a hoe is somebody who sleeps around. like
That's why we ask different perspectives.
Yeah. I was like, oh, and towards the end, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm understanding.
So, what
now.
is your perspective on what a whole phase is?
On what a whole phase is? Well, for me, a whole, like I said, is someone who sleeps around. So a whole phase is when that's all she's doing is just collecting bodies.
Okay.
That's what my definition of a whole phase is. What's yours?
So, I believe it's like a temporary time in your life, or you're engaging in temporary activity
Mm-hmm.
where you're just wilding out. Girls gone wild. You know,
Mm-hmm.
could be taking trips alone and getting fucked out there. Could be posting your body on social media. It's not going to last. That's why it's a phase.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, you know what? I'm gonna date a whole bunch of guys. I got 5 guys and I'm off, or maybe even after work. Most of them work today. Monday 7, Tuesday 2 a.m. I'm off, so I'm gonna get coffee. Wednesday, maybe I meet him at the gym. Thursday, like you got different dates of guys. You know, that's a whole phase.
Really? Because if they're just dating, though.
Club hopping. These are my opinions. You talked about what you thought. Club hopping, every week. Getting drunk every week. You were in a relationship, you broke up with the guy, or the guy broke up with you, or was mutual. The following week, you're in another relationship. Women don't just get people like that. They've already had them, you know, especially if they're not going to put themselves out there to possibly be rejected, because that is always the fear. That's why I won't approach. I rather go through a dating app, or, you know, build something off DM, social media, because I'm protected behind a screen. I don't actually have to go out there and do that. That is one way women approach men. The other way is the way they dress, you know, provocatively or whatever it is, flirting, in nonverbal ways. That's another way. So women don't just like, if she was in a relationship with you and then she went out the next day with somebody, like that dude was always there. So she was already cheating.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So because women are not just, you meet a guy like tomorrow and you already connect. She ain't even grieving over me. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like also being not in your feminine emotions is hoish to me.
I also think
because I'm looking at it as the woman is highly in her masculine. Remember in season 10 finale part 1, I said women don't think with their pussy. I don't care if you have a high sex drive, control it. Women don't think with their pussy. That's like you always hear most men think with their dick. If a woman thinks with her pussy, she's highly in her masculine. She's highly in her masculine. So the reality is, like a woman that is in her feminine, she gonna grieve that relationship. She's not gonna go out the next day and already get in a relationship the next week. You was in a 3-month relationship. Now it ends. Now you in another relationship. Now you in another. Within 6 months, you've been with three guys. That's a whole to me. You know what I'm saying? Has a monetary transactional relationship.
Oh yeah, that's totally definitely.
That is the definition of a prostitute, an escort. But if a woman is not an escort, she's a hoe. She's a slut.
Right. So if it's not,
you know what I'm saying? So if everything that I'm doing, that I'm hanging out with this girl, I got to spend money. Like we can't even go on a date, a park, have a picnic. We gotta go to places, spend money. Yo, let's book this trip for me. She's complaining. Oh, let's go to like every single time. I gotta call her. She's billing me. Yeah. I want her to iron my stuff. She's billing me. We're in you understand what I'm saying? It might not even be a relationship that's built yet. It might be in the beginning stage. You're dating. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not even like how we look at it, like monetary transactional relationship. Oh, he's just paying me for sex. No, it could be things that are non-sexual.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? BDSM would call that financial domination.
Which we had a show on, by the way.
You see what I'm saying? So like, that's also like a whole to me, posting half naked photos online and you're not one of those workers,
How you think?
twerking,
Yep. How they think also.
and I also think it's a phase like where it's like a season, but we'll get into that.
So do you think women deserve a pass for their whole phase or their whole years?
Depends what the whole phase was. That's all I can say about it.
I think yes that
She
they should
doesn't.
get a pass for their whole
She,
phase, but also
she,
like you, it depends on the circumstances, their age, stuff like that.
she doesn't deserve a pass if she was out there accumulating bodies. And she wasn't an escort. She was cognitive of what she was doing. Like, she doesn't deserve a pass. At some level, like, you giving her a pass, you're not holding her accountable. That's what it comes down to. If I'm trying to build with a woman and she's telling me all that stuff, shame is coming. I'm going to shame you. Because most people, what we will do is they will let this slide. You know, if you weren't, it's different if the woman, you look at her situation. Maybe both parents died. She had to do it. Like, you look at these things.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I'm going to
situational.
analyze her situation. I'm not going to already off the bat. I said this already in episode 88. Episode 88. I said I'm going to ask an array of questions. Then if it's like, oh, I just wanted to do it because it was a sport to me. It was fun. Men could do it. We do it. I'm leaving. I'm not. Nice to meet you. Good luck with your future endeavors if you have any. Take care. I'm out. But if it's a different situation where it's like, you know, I ain't grown my parents. I got molested early. I got raped. So that built my high sex drive. I couldn't control it. I didn't know my body. Like, it's so much different in that sense. Had it happen at an early age.
So it's situational.
Yeah, but if she's saying like, yo, I was talking to different guys, I was doing this, it's the giving it up to me. It's the giving it up, the access. It's so hard. It's so hard for men to get women. He's a stud if he got 1, 2, 3, and she's been there for a while, keeping her happy or whatnot. He's a stud. Has multiple, he's a stud because that takes work. We go, women don't. I want to say all women, most women, they just sit back and get picked. They don't do work. Men have to go and do work. So that's one of the reasons why he gets praised. Anything that you do easy gets shamed. That's why there's a label. So the reality is, like, I'm going to look at it like, damn, you're easy because so many men got easy access to you. You're telling me now you're going to make me wait? That's trickery. Why? Because all those dudes didn't have to. Let me tell you something.
You also don't know what the circumstances were.
Let me tell you something right now. If I had a woman when we ended on mutual understandings, she's just not submissive. It's just not working out. She comes back, oh, I'm healed. I'm this. I'm ready to live this life with you. Now, on the course, I'm gonna be like, what have you been doing? Because I'm gonna ask her that. It took you a while to come back. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? I'm going to get to the root. She's not going to be able to lie. I'm going to catch her in it. So I'm going to get to the root. Oh, I've been out there dating. Now, the moment we separated, if she already got in bed with another guy, I'm not going to let her back.
Okay.
Because if I had to do work, but that guy didn't, that's what I mean. When a woman has a lot of bodies, a man looking at it like, yo, she's easy. Especially if he has to work for her now. You see what I'm saying? So, like, sex comes to women easy. The caller even said it. We can go out there and we can just, she was trying to be politically correct. She don't want people to hate her. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she even said it. It comes easy. So we show the value of a woman that can control that. We show the value of a woman that controls and puts certain standards of, you are worthy. You are not. You are worthy. But if bum ass niggas is getting it, that show me that woman doesn't have value. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would I engage in her? It's like they say another man's trash is another man's treasure. You trash. Stay there too. I'm gonna shame her because, especially if she was cognitive of making it. I'm talking about she's saying that she was doing it for fun. She was just horny. She's not taking accountability. Man bamboozled me. I was drunk all the time. No. I like women that have control. So that's gonna be a problem if she gets in a relationship with you. She gets in a relationship with you, she don't have control, obviously. How are you gonna even lead her? The moment she gets mad at you or whatever, she reverts back to the whole shit. And that might not even be she giving it to somebody else, because you might be doing it very well. So she might, I'm sufficient in that. I only want his. But she go online and show her booty. That's revenge. That's whole shit. She always reverts back to feminism. She always reverts back to what she knows. Whole shit. So it's like I'm playing chess. I'm looking at the little things that could turn bigger down the line. That's just me. You know, so do they deserve a pass? Damn, it depends on the circumstance. And if I'm willing to take it under my wing, depending on what my boundaries are or not.
Do men deserve to exercise their options once they level up?
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, because you got to be the provider. So if you level up in any capacity, doesn't have to be all or whatever it is. If you're able to get what you get now, like, do that. Because it's already, like I said, it's already hard for us to get everything that we want in life. Some of us don't have pretty privilege. Some of us aren't seducers.
Do you also mean like once they level up, like leave the woman that they're with?
No,
right? Okay.
no.
I wasn't. That's why I wrote it down. I was like,
No,
I'm not
he
sure
could
of
be
that.
single and now wants to play the field.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Then definitely, because
You know what I'm
if you've leveled up, then you should want a partner that's on your level.
What?
Should a man, if you level up, right?
Maybe he doesn't want a partner on his level. He's just exercising options.
Okay, then yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he likes variety too.
Okay. Should a man have a high body count or practice more sexual discipline, and why? I don't think that it matters if a man has a high body count or not. Like, I don't think it's frowned upon if a man has a high body count.
I don't think most
But
women care.
I do think that as they get older and they know themselves, they should have sexual discipline.
Yeah, I think men should have sexual discipline regardless. You know, a man is built to be on his purpose. That's the masculine. The masculine has to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward no matter what. Even if he's in a relationship, don't forget your dreams. Stop doing the things you like. Keep moving forward. Stay productive. You got to be the provider. So sex should be like priority 3 or 4 or 5. Your number one priority should be your purpose. That's your number one priority. So men, when we look at men and the history of men, their rise and their downfall, there's always been a woman involved.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, hoes have broken homes. They have broken homes, home wreckers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they should have sexual discipline because it helps you with spiritual discernment. You're not just thinking with your dick, oh man, you know, she got some felonies. She likes a little bit of crazy in a relationship as a balance. She looks so good, I want to do it. He's not thinking logically. He's thinking with emotions. He's horny. You know what I'm saying? The porn star, whatever, OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she's getting in trouble a lot. She's out there on social media. Everybody knows who she is. Whatever it is, whatever type of problem, she's displaying that she has nothing to lose. But I'm still going to fuck with her. Now he loses it all. Because she was a liability, not an asset.
Yep.
So having sexual discipline also puts you in a position of power. Because now when you approach a woman, you're not going to approach her being a simpleton. You're not going to simp for her or be thirsty. That what jams up a lot of men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing that puts dominant men on their knees is women's sexuality. Women have always used their seductive nature and attributes to get what they want from guys. Oh, I can't get him with my money. I can't get him with my mind. I can't get him with my status. But I can get him with my looks. I can get him with my booty. I can get him with sexual. I could suck your soul. I know how to suck mean dick.
Wait, are you going into other questions?
No, I'm just saying that if a man has sexual discipline, then he cannot fall for these things. And he has power. So the thing is, man, I believe, should always be in power. So if he doesn't have sexual discipline, he's a liability. You could even have a group of friends. If that man doesn't have sexual discipline, he a snake one day. He gonna throw you under the bus. I don't give a fuck how long. Yes, he might. Yes, he might go after your woman.
Yep.
He might put dirt on your name for pussy. So much things in this. I always surround myself around men that have sexual discipline. Because at the end of the day, a man who doesn't, he's untrustworthy.
Yep, definitely. Same thing with a woman. That's what I think. Why should women be traditional when there are more rewards from most men when the woman is promiscuous or a hoe?
So I believe that when you're traditional, you have certain values that is contrary to modern. So if you are traditional, you're going to hold yourself accountable. That's the biggest thing. It's not every woman is doing it and they're not getting reprimanded and shamed and called names. They're actually getting the opposite done. I'm going to do it too. It seems fun. I ain't opening my legs to nobody, but I could do it too. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in a way, like being traditional, hold yourself accountable. It makes you be methodical. It makes you be calculating. It makes you have values, integrity, honesty
better
for
quality
yourself.
of life too.
You know what I'm saying? Have standards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day,
For better self-worth.
this is why they should. Now, will most women be? No, because they see, and I've heard it from women, coaching women, whatever, bringing them on the podcast. Oh, all these guys say they want natural bodies, but look what they're liking. Look who they're following. Look who they're seen with. Look who they wife. They say they don't want the hoes, they want the good girls, but why are they with them? You see? So the reality is women are starting to give up. The hoes are getting married. The hoes are getting cuffed. I don't need to be a good girl. I don't need to be a good girl. It doesn't matter. The women
kind of does matter. I don't want to
simp. Not in some women's mind. I don't want to say all. Not in some women's mind. Some women's mind, they're looking at the objective. They're looking at the object, the ring. They're looking at They're looking at the status. That's what some women are. They're not looking at the character of that man. They're looking at, she got cuffed. I don't want to name celebrities, but yo, look at her. And she says she got a ring and she don't cook and clean. And this one over here did a sex video. They did it though. They was there. They don't show longevity, but they still got it. So if men are doing this, if being in my opinion, a bad woman or a trash bag is actually getting you the reward, why should I try to be a diamond? That's not even a reward. Fuck that. Good girl gone bad. Because the bad girls is what's getting the most attention. The bad girls is what's getting all maybe the high quality men in their mind, the rappers and shit, athletes in their perspective, which I don't consider those guys quality. They simp the most. They simp the most. They'll give a woman, they make $140 a year. 500,000 ain't nothing to them. So they'll take a woman out on a date and give her that money. Guess what she could do with that money? Start a business, use that to flip it. Easy. And she ain't have to do work. You see, they simp the most. Most women will look at this and say, I'm not getting a reward for being good. Bad is good. Bad will get me the reward. So that's why they will do it. But ultimately, I don't believe women should do this. Because if they do, what they don't say is there's bad consequences for that. There's bad consequences just be valued for your body or your sexual talents. There's bad consequences. You're not going to get quality men. But when people ain't teaching women that, because they're just looking at the score. A lot of things is a means to an end for women. They're not built to think long term and study because they're thinking more emotionally, not logically. They're not even getting in their masculine. They could get in their masculine in their day to day. They ain't even using that out into the real world. They're more emotional. Oh, he makes me feel good. You know, this and that. I'm going to get that. I'm lonely. I'm desperate for a man. I've been single too long. I'm getting to that age. You know what I'm saying? I want it. That's all you want. It's not the quality of the man. It's that. It's the ring. It's the status. I believe if he's heterosexual, he desires multiple women. What would stop him from doing this? Societal standards, religious beliefs, women shaming him, perhaps. The incapability due to perhaps like pressure and stress to maintain that, or both women. or three. Um, Cultural conditioning and his inability to handle diversities or even the pleasures that's going to come with that. But they have the proclivity to satisfy and to provide more than one woman. But they might not do it because they don't have the mental, physical, spiritual capacity. Not too many can do. It takes a lot for a man to be. He has to be rich, and I don't mean rich in a monetary aspect. I mean rich spiritually, rich physically. Because you got to be able to handle, like, sometimes it might be catty, and be able to have that testosterone, like be quiet or sit them both down one at a time, have a adult conversation. He has to be emotionally rich. You know what I'm saying? He has to be psychologically rich, but he got to be rich in all aspects, enrich himself. You know what I'm saying? From to bring women into his life to provide safety, protection, and stuff of that nature. Also, these men know that women can't handle the truth in any capacity. If they know the truth and stick around, they'll probably complain and nag the whole relationships. That's their revenge. Because I don't believe women leave powerful men. I believe they leave weak men, beta males. But if they know they got a man that they can't get everywhere, and they don't have quote unquote what they think their options are, they don't have options, they're gonna stick around. Her revenge will be her nagging, trying to make your life a living hell. That will be her revenge. She might not even go out there and cheat. That's a woman that doesn't have God in her. I don't mean that religiously. I mean that spiritually. She doesn't have a God in her. She's not in her divinity. You know what I'm saying? If she's not in her divinity, she will step out. She won't leave. She will step out, even if it's talking to another guy. You know what I'm saying? So she'll cheat. And if she doesn't cheat, then she will do these things, emasculate, be disrespectful, have arguments, be nagging, complain, and stuff of that nature to try to make his life a living hell. That's like a revenge tactic. But instead, I think that they should just be quiet, calm down, think logical, drink some herbal tea, maybe roll a blunt, pray for him and themselves, and count their blessings. That's what I
Mhm.
think.
Okay. If women want men to commit to them or get a ring, should they be more on their best behavior than men? Or should they
Yeah. Both
carry
people should
themselves in a traditional way to get the men they want to attract?
should they carry. Yeah. So here's what I believe. Both should be on their best behavior, but women have to be on their best behavior more. And it's because the man is in control of relationship and commitment. There's women out there who could be like, oh, I could go out and find my husband and stuff of that nature. But the reality is that, technically speaking, because I'm a technical fighter, that means you're going out there to hunt. That's how I translate that in my
Mm-hmm.
mind. That means you're going out there to hunt. And maybe there's some women that are comfortable doing that. But I know most women aren't, because they might think, does he really want me if I'm the one that initiated?
Mm.
Does he really want to marry me if I'm the one that got the ring and I got on one knee?
Mm.
You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? So the reality is, like, women still want to be treated traditionally. They still eventually want the ring, the marriage, the kids, whatever else comes with that. They still want that, but I believe that they should carry themselves in a traditional way. To get that, they should carry themselves appropriately. Like, when us men go to the club, and if we're searching for women like that, we don't want to see the woman at the middle of the dance floor dancing and twerking and shit, and fucking getting all the attention because she's pretentious. We probably gonna approach the one that's like sitting down by the bar, a little shy or quiet to herself. She dresses like she's clothed completely, not displaying any cleavage or side butt cheek. We might approach her more.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's one. Number two, don't be online posting your body. Eventually a man's gonna want that, the special treatment thing. Last
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna want that for himself. He's gonna want to see what other men don't. And if a man lies and says he doesn't care about that, it's because the woman has manipulated him. Oh, are you insecure? You won't let me do this? You're insecure. You're not a real man. And it's gotten to him. And he's letting the woman tell him what to do now. Think how the woman wants to think. And he's not thinking for himself. But I guarantee you, men are possessive and territorial by nature.
I believe that.
So the reality is, like, women need to carry themselves like ladies if they want a gentleman.
All right. Do you think women want to be objectified and used as a sexual object, or do they want to be kept? I think obviously there are women that like to be objectified, like the raunchy women that have OnlyFans. Not, there are OnlyFans that are tasteful. I've seen those. There are also celebrity thoughts that we won't name names, that sleep around with celebrity guys. They want to be objectified and used as sexual objects. But I think most women want to be objectified by their man, and I think most women would like to be kept.
Selective objectification. That's what I believe. Just like you said, by their man. I don't want to be objectified to the public.
Right.
There's some women like this.
100%.
But I believe, and I don't even want to use women because that's divinity. Females. I believe females like to be objectified. They do it every day. And they don't even realize that they're doing it.
Some of them do it realizing it too.
Yes. Use that sex in a sexual object. Yes. They're getting paid for it. Most won't do it even if they're getting paid for it. That's one. Number two, by their man, definitely. Most women. Now, that's some, but do I feel the majority is to be kept? If I have to pick, kept.
Yeah, kept.
That's a lot of times. That's why there's a lot of times women will cheat with the married man versus the guy that's single, doesn't have kids, who has 2 or 3 an array of women. That's why. She's looking at that already, studying the dynamic. He might think I'm disposable. He'll throw me away once he's bored and tired. The married guy shows he's about commitment. She wants to be kept. That's what it comes out. Even if I'm a side chick, even if I'm a mistress, I'm being kept.
I mean,
because
most disposable too.
Because women know that once they get involved in whatever capacity, emotions are gonna be. I'm gonna fall for you. And if you just drop me like a bad habit, that's stress, depression, that's gonna come, whatever. Me trying to probably get back into my whole phase. I don't know. You understand that might make me regress on my healing journey. So I'd rather be kept. That's women in general. I don't put a percentage now. I don't say most. I say all women want to be kept. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think yes. I think most women want to be kept.
If women don't know how to attract men, because a lot of them don't know, what will they do to attract them? And we're not talking about males, beta males, sims, thirsty men who subject themselves to anything for validation or appeasement for women. Because women don't respect those men, or they don't want them. They just use them to boost their self-esteem, their ego. They use them for their attention fix. They desire more of the alpha male, the high levels of masculinity, the dominant men, the traditional guys. So being that they don't know how to attract these guys.
I was confused with when you and the caller were talking about it, because how I read it is, if women don't know how to attract men, what will they do to attract them?
Yeah.
I was writing down they would show cleavage, seductive pictures, flirting, sex on the first date. That's
the answer I was looking for.
Because you guys talking threw me off. I was like, I read it wrong.
But I'm not here to tell with people good or bad answers. I'm not here to tell you right or wrong. It's your perspective. That was the answer I was looking for. Because women don't know how to attract men in general, it's biologically like ingrained in women's mind to think all niggas just wanted sex. Let me not say nigga. Let me say men. All men want is sex. If they don't want anything else, they want sex. Whether they're beta, whether they're high value, whether they're alpha, whether they're dominant, whether they're feminine, they all want the same thing. I've heard this stuff from women. They all want the same thing. So when all fails, when we have a bad relationship, he's mad at me. I don't have to take accountability and say I'm sorry. I could just roll up my hair in a ponytail and say I'm gonna suck your dick. I could just send them a booty picture. Because they will always revert back to that because that is what they know and they think men like and will forgive them for and they will attract. So that's what answer I was looking for. If women don't know how to attract men, what will they do to attract them? Sexually objectify themselves because they think all men want sex. So look at a guy like me who doesn't care about that. That's on the bottom of the list. And the irony is I'm a Scorpio. I'm the sex sign. Hold on. That's on the bottom of the list. Also practices sexual discipline. A dominant in the bedroom. So I'm dominating you. You're never doing that. A man like me, you can't attract me with that.
But you just said the key word, a man like you.
Okay.
You can't keep putting yourself in these categories. Because most men, all you gotta do is, wink at them, show a little something. Most men will be like, all right, there's the opening to the door.
Okay, what if I could clone myself and make everything identical? Character, everything, my voice intonation, like Steve did. Well, Steve didn't clone himself in Family Matters. He changed it to Stefan with the transformation chamber. But I'm talking about at the same time. You see 2 disciplines, 3 disciplines, 4 disciplines. If I could spread myself thin and these men, hypothetically speaking, have the same qualities as me, how would women attract them if they can't with sex?
With conversation, with
What
intelligence.
What else? Because if sex can't control him, what will get him to be attracted to me?
Your mind, how you think.
Okay. Do you
If
think
sex
men
can't
like
do
this?
it-
Do you think men like this that are a duplicate of me care about that?
Care about what?
Her
Conversation and her mind?
conversation, want to know her personality and not her accolades and how many degrees you got and how much money you got and if you're alpha.
I didn't say that. I didn't say accolades and money
Okay.
and all that stuff. I said how she thinks, how she carries herself.
How else would she attract them?
If she's not, how she dresses,
Mm-hmm.
flirting.
Okay, that's fair. You know how the quote unquote alpha female is gonna try to attract the man? I've experienced it.
By telling you the things that she doesn't need.
No, she's gonna lead with her accolades like a man would. I met a woman and she was doing that. Stop right there. I'm looking for personality. I want to know about you, not what you did and how much money you make.
Yeah, I said personality.
But the thing is, like, do you know that they do that? They will go into a bar or a van or meet you in person and they will start talking about their accolades. I have this amount of degrees. I'm this. I got this money. I got this invested. I got this business. I'm doing this. They will lead with that.
You know what I think that is? I think that's the reverse of there's doing that to show the guy, I don't need you to take care of me. What we can do is focus on sex. Because she's not bringing anything else up besides that, right? So I don't need you. I have my own money. I have all my accolades. What I need from you is sex.
I don't agree, but that makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
I don't agree. I think that is their only catalyst to their confidence. Which I think a man builds his confidence from accomplishments. So if a woman's building confidence from accomplishments, she's in her masculine. That's why she's leading.
She being confident with her, like the feminine part of her.
Like, yo, this is what I bring to the table. I bring peace. I'm optimistic. I'm loving. I'm caring. I want to have kids one day. Or I do have kids. I'm nurturing. I'm submissive. I'm feminine. I keep my body right. And if my body doesn't look right, I'll be holding myself accountable to make sure I go to the gym and eat right. I bring this. I can bring you up. I can love you spiritually, emotionally. Those are the feminine answers. The masculine answers is more like, hey, baby, look at what I do. You know how many cars I got? You know how many degrees I got? I accomplished this. I did 5 books in under a year. This is what I do for a living. At the end of the day, you got women friends and men friends. If I tell my friends I got a new woman in my life, you know what the first thing they're going to ask me? What does she look like?
I was going to say that.
What are the women going to say? If she says she got a new man in her life, what's the first thing she gonna ask?
What he do for a living.
Exactly. You see how the masculine and the feminine is in that sense? Men are more visual, women are more on survival mode.
Mm.
That's why they look for the providers. You see what I'm saying? And then they judge a man by what he does. What does he do for a living? And they try to study how much money he makes. From that sense, can it turn into something? Can he be a provider? Can he take care of a family? That's what they look at when they do that. It's just their nature. It's like quick. It's a quick answer. You don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a woman even develop a whole phase? What would be the cause of this?
Revenge, a bad breakup, following other women, peer pressure, trauma.
Damn,
Um,
I agree with all those.
Yep.
Shit.
See that?
Yeah. Also, the next one, the guy.
Can men be hoes?
No, they're homemakers. And I could speak on a literal aspect. He makes a woman into that. And it could be that it went through a bad breakup. Because of that man, he created that hoe.
I think a man is the same idea as a woman, except it's looked at different. Like you said, he's a stud. But what makes him a hoe is just like his behavior. He's going from one body to another body. Like technically that would be a hoe without putting any, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go technical. Yeah. But
Promiscuous.
being
I don't
promiscuous.
think it would be a hoe. I don't think promiscuity and hoe go in the same category when it pertains to men. I don't think men cheat. I think interacting with women is a natural thing. The lie. I've been saying this in season 1,
the lie
episode
is what
4.
makes them cheat.
Since episode 4, monogamy versus polygamy. I don't believe men cheat is the lie. I think most women would want to engage. You know what I'm saying? Other women don't, but at the end of the day, she's not gonna leave you for just that. She
I
knows
mean,
that's in a man's nature. Sometimes women
some women do. end
No,
up
it's the
leaving.
lie. If
It's the lie.
you approach her and be like, listen, I want to do this, blah blah blah. I got plans. I don't really see just you, like your pussy being just the only thing I'm fucking for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not gonna leave you. You know what I'm saying? I want to build with you. I want you to be here forever, but I want to explore other women and other things. She might be cool with it. As long as you coming home every night.
She might be confident in herself.
As long as you coming home every night and it's not in my face, it's not around the kids, whatever. She might be cool with it. But I feel like the lie, that's the big betrayal for a lot of women. Because now, can you get that trust back? That's what it comes down. Women need trust and respect to like let go of a lot of things they do. Give their all, submit. So if you're lying, I think that's what it is. It's not the cheating. I think we need to change cheating to lying. I don't think men cheat. Can men be hoes? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They don't call men sluts, whores, hoes. I think that term was invented for one gender, woman, because it's a shaming term. It's not supposed to feel good, like you calling somebody a piece of trash. And they're not a masochist. They're not an emotional masochist. They don't like that. You're calling them a derogatory term. It's supposed to be that so you could shame them and make them have accountability. The world will praise a man or men who have multiple women in their life or who have high body count or doing it every week, whatever it is. I'm not promoting this. I'm not saying that they should do it, but they will because they call them a stud because you were able to obtain something difficult. They call the woman the hoe or the slut because you were able to do that so easy. Let me spit an analogy for you. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to spit an analogy.
Do you want to spit it anyway?
Okay. You and I grew up in a predominantly royal, prestigious household. My parents have been working and busting their ass. They got trust funds for me, stock, stuff of that nature. The moment I'm 25, I'm inheriting all this. Nightclubs, lounges, restaurants. I'm inheriting all this commercial real estate, right?
Yep.
Because I just exist. There's a safe with a combination on it, and there's 6 figures in there. And then there's bonds, trust, stuff of that nature, right? So I didn't earn any of these things. You could call me a silver spoon baby. And we also live in different environments. Let's say I'm in Beverly Hills. You are in Southside Jamaica, Queens, Brownsville, Brooklyn, Crenshaw, right? Compton. Boom. Now you have to work majority of your life. Like the king on the chessboard, he has to move a square at a time. He can't move like the queen, diagonal, back, stuff of that nature, cross, one square at a time. Are you going to respect me when I'm going out there and I'm like, yo, I got my businesses and I work so hard? I'm lying. I'm saying, yo, I did this, I did that, boom, 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 and I did. The only thing I did was have that capital and made the right investments, or had a coach to tell me where to invest. It wasn't even just me. I had people around me, a team to build my wealth. You have to do everything yourself. Are you going to respect? We're the same age. Are you going to respect me? Are you going to say I really worked hard? Are you going to call me a stud?
Gotcha.
Are you going to call me a king? No, right?
No.
That's the difference with the bodies. That's the difference with women doing what men doing on a sexual marketplace. That's the difference. So when you're calling calling her a whole slut, stuff of that nature, it's a derogatory term. It's to shame. That's the objective. Because we don't respect you. Niggas don't respect hoes. Even if they marry them, they might be looking at them, oh, there's a trophy wife. I could bring her out and she's gonna build my value.
Not because she's a hoe.
Listen, I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point. Just her looks. He's marrying her from superficial. So he's going to be like, oh, I could bring her around my friends. My boys are going to think I'm a stud because I'm with a beautiful woman who has a nice body. You see what I'm saying? His purpose to marry her is all superficial. Gotcha. You see, it's like he doesn't respect her though. Hoes don't get respect because it's easy. That's why they call those men that do it studs, because that's a respectful term. Hey, okay, playboy, get it. It's respectful. He's bigging you up. And it might come from a man. The reality is women ain't going to care about that, because the more experience he's got, more women are going to want to fuck him probably. Curiosity, let me test it out. Let me see if he's really big, like those other women are saying, and validating him. Men are going to want to be like him and big him up. That's what it comes down. But ain't nobody respecting hoes. Not women or men. If she looks good enough and those guys are more thirsty, bottom tier dudes and just want to settle for sex, they'll fuck the hoe. But they will not commit to her. They will not wife her, taking it beyond. Commitment is just, oh, I'm going to give you a title, girlfriend. Beyond that is giving you a ring. They won't do that. Let's exclude celebrities. Just talk about it. Let's exclude them, yo, because all that shit is conspiracy theories anyways. You know what I'm saying? About bringing them together. Let's talk about, like, I don't even want to say regular people. Let's talk about people who aren't celebrities, who live regular lives, regular jobs and stuff of that nature, have regular relationships. It's not a notoriety relationship.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? No, definitely not. Okay. Because the only thing that will make that celebrity, even a celebrity hoe, gotta have some shit to get married. Name me 100 people that wanted to marry her. Her status and her money got her cuffed, and her looks. But let's say she was just a regular hoe that lives in Brownsville or the Bronx. No. She might get played with because she looks a certain type of way, but she's not getting cuffed. That's what it comes down to. Right. Because when a man respects you, he displays that. Whether he wants to provide for you, make you feel safe, hold doors, be chivalrous. That is a man respecting the woman that he's courting or in a relationship with. That's true. But if he ain't doing those things, that means he don't respect you. That's what it comes down to.
Well, nowadays guys don't do that anyway.
Because they don't respect women. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, not even with their own. Like, I don't think it's something
because they don't respect women.
I just think it hasn't been done in such a long time. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, you are a different type of person.
No. Men are chivalrous by nature. Even look at the old school American gangsters and Sicilian.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is, in this day and age, men don't do that. They don't hold open doors open.
They have it in them. They
have it in them, but they don't.
They don't do it because it's feminism. because women are out here talking about their accolades. Women are out here. So it already puts us level of one, intimidation with some guys, or two, turn off. In his mind, she's talking the whole time in his mind. Damn, I wish this bitch would shut the fuck up. You know what? At this point, I just want to fuck her. But he won't, he's not articulate. He's just listening. And you know what he's doing? He's smiling and yes and nodding his head. Oh, that's so nice. Agreeing with everything she says. But in his mind, he's like, yo, I ain't never cuffing her. I don't respect her, none of that stuff. I don't respect her from the jump. I'm just gonna see how much I could like knock the bricks off that pussy, and then that's it.
So how would a person get out of a whole phase? I think with growth, understanding themselves, and understanding their triggers.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
Because there's no
understanding themselves. Yep.
And how long do you think it lasts?
It might be a season. It might be a couple years. That's why it's a phase.
Yeah.
It might be.
Depends.
It might be a situation like summertime has arrived.
Oh, everybody goes crazy with summertime.
Yeah.
Girls gone wild, guys gone wild. Everything.
So now, the moment it's late November, December, right? It's getting cold out. I gotta get a cuddle boo.
Before December, because Christmas comes too.
I gotta get a fuck buddy. I gotta I'm in the house now.
Gotta get cuffed for the gifts. Yep.
So it might be a season. It might not be something that's gonna be like, sometimes it might be a long process. Also, age might play a factor. You know, a lot of women through their early 20s, they getting dogged out all over the place. They doing shit. They could have been with 2-3 guys at the same time. They're not mentioning that. Basketball players at the same time, 7 at the same time. Boom, going to different countries, getting flown out. Boom, doing this, doing that. Listen, man, the most prestigious woman who looks so innocent online could be doing some shit. You will never know, because a lot of women will lie. They know what men, they know how men want to view them. They don't want to get judged, be resentful, all that stuff, all that fear. So they will lie. So the thing is, it could be through her course of her 20s, 20 through 30, she did all that. Now that she's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 40, now I want the good guy. Now I want the beta male. Now I want the man that's going to be more a real man.
It could be opposite too. Somebody who got pregnant, had kids dumb early. Had the kids, things didn't work out. Now the kids are grown. There it is.
Yeah.
Women gone wild.
Yes. Yup. A house of restriction. The guy was controlling. Like a lot of our like Latina households, machismo.
The fathers, the brothers are too strict with them.
So now they're like, shit,
it doesn't even have to be a boyfriend or a husband.
You know the biggest thing to this is, just like I said at the workshop, freedom. What does the woman do with freedom? Because if she has freedom now, because that's what you're talking about, now her kids are out the house, she got freedom. Now that she has freedom, you judge her character based on what she does with it.
Yes, but I'm saying she got divorced. She, like, her and the husband separated. Now the kids are big. Yes, freedom, but it's also
what she does with it that now you can judge her.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Do you think in men's mind, a woman who brags about or has great sexual prowess is a hoe? I think in their mind, I think they're thinking, I just got lucky and this hoe's gonna take me to heaven.
You just said it. This hoe's gonna take me to heaven.
I think definitely. So. Women who brag about it, men instantly are going to be like, oh, if she's bragging about it, and she's saying she's good at it, that means she's giving me that, when you go to a movie, preview of what's to come. She's giving a preview.
It's pretty much a steal. That's what it is. Like, you know, when you get a good deal at the supermarket or whatever, you're like, yo, did they put the right price on this? And they put the wrong price on it. But you don't tell them. You like, yo, you got to give me that price or I'm going to sue. Because it's right there. Like, I took a picture with it with my phone. It's right there. You can't change the price now. Customer's always right. It's a steal when a woman does that. I mean, for a man's mind. Because remember, a lot of men do things to impress women, and the number one objective is sex. That's the end goal for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's already saying, listen, you ain't got to do work. I already do this and I do that. He's going to be like, oh my God, heaven. It's a kid in a candy store. It's too easy, huh? It's too easy. Remember, men value what they have to work for and hard. So if you're making it too easy for him, he's definitely going to think you're a hoe. Because men still to this day view women in a purity aspect. That's why they want to marry. You see what I'm saying? But if most of these women, especially in America, we're not talking about other countries, but in America are all doing the same whorish activities, guess what? They all hoes. They all this. This shit is normal. So if I'm having a conversation with a woman over the phone and she's already talking about her sexual prowess, man, now I know I could hit. A woman's telling me her body count and stuff of that nature, and I'm asking, I don't ask that question, but if I'm asking and she's telling me it's high, yeah, I ain't trying to shame her. Now I know she easy. Now I could get it. But a woman who's telling me she has a low body count, I'm like, oh, that means you have to work for that. She might value serious relationships and long term versus just meaningless short term things. You see what I'm saying? Men may not be conscious of it, but their subconscious is. That's why they move different with these women. I'm telling you facts. They move different with these women. A man's respect is like high value for a woman, and you will see it with the way he treats you and what he gives you. You know what I'm saying? If he thinks you a hoe, you're gonna see that too.
Okay, so pay attention, ladies. A woman who is married to two men, has two husbands, or a woman who has multiple boyfriends, is this a hoe phase, and is she considered one? Okay, I think that with a marriage,
It's poly. It's a relationship.
right,
I
that's
believe.
not, I don't consider her, that's not a whole phase, you know what I mean?
She's-
Like, that's a long-term commitment.
Yeah, she's
Multiple
taking on the
boyfriends?
masculine role,
Yeah, but
but
still not
it's
a
not.
whole
I
phase.
don't think it's a whole phase.
Multiple boyfriends, now this is gonna bring me back to what you
And
said
especially,
for the first one.
I'm sorry. Especially if they know about each other.
Then it's not, right,
It's not like I got a husband in Dubai, and I got a husband in New York.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're in the same, like they're in both Dubai or both in California. They're in the same place. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the time when it's a woman and two men, they're in the same household.
Okay, well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you know,
because there are men.
I'm just saying
you
most
hear
women
it
hide.
more.
Most women hide it. So I'm just saying, like, they have to be aware of it. If she's
Right.
hiding it, she's doing whole shit.
Yeah. Well, like I was gonna say, it's more common to know that men have whole different families in different. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not even just two girlfriends. It's he has kids with this woman married there and kids with this woman married there. So, but I agree with you. It's not a whole phase unless she's the boyfriend. But what the caller said
The boyfriend
about dating, not sleeping around, but dating, isn't that vetting? And then if that's the case, if she's just dating, going on on different dates, not sleeping around, why would that be considered a whole phase?
I would consider that a whole phase.
Even though she's not sleeping around, she's dating for the sake of vetting people to find her perfect person.
Yeah,
That's still a whole phase.
90% of the time, there's that 10% that's an exception. She is the exception to the rule because she's putting out. 90% of the time, men are putting out for her financially to take her on dates.
Yeah, but
most of the time, ain't a lot of men out here who are creative with dates. Like they're doing the basic dating environments and stuff of that nature, or they consider dating.
So if she's going out just because she wants to get a meal, that's a whole
yeah.
Thing. Okay, but not if she really wants to, vet.
If she's spending money, is different. She's actually going there trying to in the man role because she's saying, "Yo, I'm looking for my husband,"
or at least 50-50.
I'm looking for my husband because that's what you have to look at. If a woman is dating multiple guys, she's playing her options. She's looking at her husband, but women are not built like this naturally. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that woman who's still doing that but wants the man to choose her is crazy to me.
Okay.
That's crazy to me because when you're exercising your options, you're pretty much saying, what share am I gonna buy? Because that's what stock means. What share am I gonna buy with this company where I'm gonna get dividends? Man, that shit hasn't rose in like the past 3 years, and there's no dividends. Probably not something I want to invest in. She's trying to determine what's gonna be the best option for her: time, money, maybe dick, sex. You know what I'm saying? Who makes me laugh more? Who's more dominant? You understand what I'm saying? So in a way, she's a hoe.
Okay.
Instead of giving her all in energy into one thing or one man. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you still want to be chosen, right? The woman's not going to be like, at the end of the day, you know what? I've been on 5 interviews with these guys because I was the CEO. They were propositioning me how much they want the job because I'm the prize. So the reality is, after that 5 interviews, you're the best candidate. You're going to be my boyfriend. What woman you know speaks like this?
Jalen.
Real talk though, real talk. Keep it a stack. What woman you know will do that? There's been a lot of women who have told me, you gonna be my boyfriend, you my daddy, and stuff of that nature. I laugh because I know they're joking. At the end of the day, a woman can say, we go together. It comes down to if I say we go together. So at the end of the day, like, it's crazy to me. If you are looking for the man to give you why are you going on a whole bunch?
A whole bunch of dates?
If you're dating 10 guys and you know none of them are commitment oriented,
why go on it?
You ask them, do you have a 5-year plan? Half of them niggas is like, I'm going with the flow.
Right.
So she's thinking, oh, let me fuck with them. They don't seem aggressive. My last dude was machismo. My last dude was controlling. This guy's going with the flow, but she's not reading in depth. A year later, she's asking him, what are we? You should have paid attention because he told you the truth from the beginning. He said he's going with the flow. Why would you think a year something like that would change? Pay attention, ladies.
Because they're projecting.
Pay attention. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like listen to men because they tell you the truth from the beginning.
Yep, that's true.
So ultimately, if those 5 guys said they're going with the flow, why is she still there? When she wants commitment eventually. You see what I'm saying? She's a hoe. She's doing shit. Also, a hoe is a mindset.
That's what I was definitely.
You're stupid. You're doing asinine things.
Or getting with the whole crew.
You're having sex on the first date, multiple, every time without condoms. That's ballsy.
Even with condoms. And you're going through the crew. You went with that guy, but now you're gonna go with his friend, and then with the next friend and the other friend.
You're
sloppy drunk, throwing yourselves on people.
I like that. Yep. You're sloppy drunk and engaging in stuff of that nature. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's a mindset too.
It's a mindset, big time.
That's why I said that. That's why I said the club every week, getting drunk every week. That's whole mentality.
Telling your girls just go marry for money.
Whole mentality.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, you broke up with him? Listen, I know how you could get over it. Get under some dick.
Get new dick.
Whole mentality.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like we gotta we're gonna get into it.
Should we label people?
Yeah. Because everybody wants to be labeled. LGBT community, this is what I identify as, all that stuff. Yo, if people ask me what my pronouns are and what I identify as, I'm gonna be like, my pronouns are dominant, king, beast, divine masculine, your majesty. Those are my pronouns. You see what I'm saying? People want to be identified anyways. You see what I'm saying? So we should label them. Okay. It's not, you just can't pick and choose when you want to be labeled. Like, I don't care if people say, yo, he's an asshole. He don't like women. He looks like he's hurt and stuff like that. He's so aggressive. I don't care. They're entitled to that. Label me if you want. I invite it.
Okay, so why do you think some women label themselves as strong, independent boss bitches?
Because they want that respect. They want that status.
So how come if a woman labels herself as strong, independent boss bitch and a guy labels himself as an alpha guy, what's the difference between her doing it and him doing it?
First of all, boasting is a masculine thing.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, if the woman is doing this, she's a masculine woman.
What if she's okay with that?
Okay.
Oh,
But
so
I'm
there's
just telling
such a
you
thing.
facts.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
She's a masculine woman. So the reality is like, if you're already approaching the dynamic, low, I'm strong, independent, boss. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you some real shit. I'm different on here versus I'm in public. When I'm in public, people don't know discipline. They know my real name. If I meet a woman wherever it is, I shake her hand. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Where are you from? I tell her my real name. I'm still dominant, but I'm different.
Is that different from when you were younger?
So yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm trying to break it down for you. So when I approach a woman, I never say, "Yo, I'm alpha," pumping my chest in front of her, beast, and do all that shit. No, I'm a quiet, confident guy. Very confident. People feel my energy with my pheromones as soon as I walk into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Some women walk up to me. I'm very quiet. I'm very humble when I go out. I don't walk into the place, yo, everybody make way. I'm into Barnes and Nobles. Everybody make way. It's me. What? No. I walk and I try to make sure people don't see me. You see what I'm saying? So the reality is, if you're talking to a woman, having an adult conversation, why is she leading with this? Because this shows you a lack of confidence. Why is she leading with it? Off the bat, she's trying to establish dominance and trying to inspire your respect, but it's doing the opposite.
Yes, inspire the respect. That's definitely what she's trying to do. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So ultimately, like, why would somebody label themselves like that? To try to inspire respect. Maybe lack of confidence.
Okay. Should we bring shaming back?
This is what I was going to get into. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I asked my daughter and my son, 22 and 25, should we bring shaming back? And they said, hell yeah. They totally
Why?
It depends on, both said it depends on the person that's being shamed and how you're doing it. So you have people that you can tell them, oh, you try to shame them and they don't care. They don't care what you think about them. They're going to just continue to do what they think is right. Then you have other people, depending on how you do it, you can reset how they're thinking with that shame for the better.
Now, I want to be more specific.
Alrighty then.
Should we bring shaming back for poor behavior?
Yes.
Because shaming is different. A woman could be shaming me because she's like, we ain't in the 1950s. We ain't in the 1950s. Men ain't dominant anymore. Men ain't chivalrous. You gotta be equal. Because this is gonna show that you love your woman. You gotta be equal. You gotta do this. You doing this is not gonna get you the right way. Don't you think you gotta change within the times? Shaming. You want control. That ain't love. Possession ain't love. You need to let people be free. Shaming. If they're doing that, it's like, that's fine by me if they do it. But I feel like they got issues. And that's just my opinion. I feel like they have issues if they're doing that, but they're entitled to it. I don't care.
Right.
But now I talk specific because I hold myself accountable. I ain't doing bad things.
Okay.
If you know what I do behind closed doors, you'd be like, oh my God, why don't he show this more? I love him. I love him now. This alone makes me love him. But I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I do the right thing and I hold myself accountable. We're talking about bad behavior. So bringing shaming back, I'm going to give you an example. Should people, and I'm saying people, not men or women, not women specifically, but people, men and women, transgender, whatever you identify as, should people be held accountable for their virtual behaviors?
Yes, they
So
are though.
shaming is required. Do you agree?
Yes.
So me personally, bringing shaming back might make people hold themselves accountable.
Yes, I agree with that. But I don't think it's just bad behavior necessarily. It's bad ways of thinking. So like, okay, let's say a girl gets beat by her boyfriend, right? And she's like, well, he didn't mean it. He beats her to the point where she's almost died. A couple of weeks go by and he's sweet talking to her, whatever, and she didn't mean it. Her friends shaming her like, he left you and you're gonna go back. He beat you and you're gonna go back. Like that type of
Like, you're
shaming as well.
stupid, girl. What are you doing?
Or like use
You know,
maybe
you
not
don't
calling her
you don't
name, but like
respect.
use your head.
Yeah,
You're
you don't
smarter than
respect
this, like
yourself.
that,
You know,
right? Because sometimes women need to hear that. You know what I
that's
mean?
good shaming.
That's good shaming. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still shaming.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be general.
Right.
I want to speak specific,
Civ-
good
on
and
bad.
bad,
Got you.
situational, specifically what it is.
Got you.
For example, women who, okay, let me speak this specifically. We don't like to drop names. And maybe this was a sacrificial thing.
Okay.
Public humiliation, sacrifice for them. There was a woman who's married who was doing some whole shit in a parking lot, who was talking about independent women, song, whatever it is, right? And she's married.
Mm-hmm.
If women are saying, let her do her thing, she's good, women empowerment, stuff of that nature, is this also reinforcing those bad behaviors to continue? Versus those women getting together and saying, you know what? This is wrong. You're married. You shouldn't be doing that. As you are married and a public figure, you should be leading by example, because we need to have hope for us.
Yeah.
Especially if we're a specific race or ethnicity. There needs to be hope for us because we are on the bottom of the list. We almost don't get married. It's almost like 1% of us are race that does in today's modern era.
Wow.
So why don't you lead by example to let us know that there is hope for us?
Definitely.
You see, things can change if that's an aspect.
That's true. Okay. We did a topic about this on TikTok Live. Can you turn a hoe into a housewife? Not unless she wants to change. Like, the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So
I'm technical. Hoe meaning she's currently that, not she has a past. So can you turn a hoe into a housewife? Just like I said in the live TikTok video, no, you cannot, because she's currently there. Now, it is a 1 out of 10% chance. You might have that one guy, but he's loving her superficially. So it could happen. It's almost as if, let me go to the escort facility and be like, you got a Latina hoe on the menu? You got a white hoe on the menu? You got a Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabian on the menu? You got a black woman on the menu? Caribbean black woman, Afro Latina on the menu? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got that on me? Like, right then and there, she's there marrying the stripper. Currently, no, you can't do it.
No,
she has those tendencies, mind, body, soul. She has these tendencies that contradict housewife. This is an oxymoron. Whole housewife. They're oxymorons. They don't go together. A housewife is most likely traditional. She's going to have to be able to bring certain characteristics that is conducive to building a legacy and the family. Nurturing, stuff of that nature. Like, when does a hoe have time for kids and shit like that? Do they do it?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe a stripper goes home because that's what she's doing that for.
Right, yeah.
But it's very hard. It's very hard to turn it on and off. So how are you able to be submissive 24/7 and being feminine 24/7 and have to be nurturing 24/7 when you're doing a lot of high masculine, hyper masculine activity? When women are highly in their masculine, they're in the feminist whole category. They can't fight it. They just act like that. When men are highly in their feminine, they do a lot of like bitch shit. They're heavy emotional. They're overly emotional. They complain, girl, why don't you do this anymore? Instead of putting standards in his dynamic and holding her accountable. Why don't you do this anymore? Why don't you do this? Like, they're the woman.
That's funny to me.
You see what I'm saying? Like they're dependent on the woman. They're not independent. This is feminine, highly. You know, it's an imbalance. How can you make a hoe into a housewife? A housewife is very feminine. The hoe isn't. So if you just do that now, you cannot. Now, if she had a past, depending on the severity or mild, moderate, whatever, it's a possibility. It can happen. Like a phase. Like I had a hoe phase. I wasn't a hoe. I had a phase.
Yeah.
Then I can
there's a
see it
difference,
happen
yeah.
because she's on her healing journey. She didn't have her father in her life. You just blame her father. That's it. She didn't have a father in her life.
What about the ones that do have a father in their life? What are you gonna blame this on?
Then I hold them accountable. I'm not going to engage with them because if you had an active father in your life and he was teaching you these things and you went against the grain, bye. No, because that means you're going to fight my authority. If you were submissive to your father and you served your father and you listened to your father, stuff like that, guess what? You're going to do the same for me because eventually you're going to look at me as daddy.
Interesting.
So if you ain't have a dad around and you was doing all these things and stuff of that nature, she might get a pass. Father passed away, can't contact him. But if she wants to get on her healing journey, guess what she needs to do? You're not going to guess, so I'm going to tell you. She needs to go backtrack. She needs to backtrack and talk to all those people in her childhood. First thing she needs to do is contact her dad if she has his contacts. If he's able to be accessible to her. She needs to find out, why didn't you do this? Why did you leave mommy? I heard mommy's side. I need to hear your side. She needs to get understanding. That's going to help her move forward.
Definitely.
Because if she's just hearing one side, guess what she grows up to be?
A hoe?
No, but just like her mom, highly masculine and stuff of that nature because she's hearing one side of the story. So she automatically builds resentment to all men. I don't care what she says. She builds resentment to all men. She needs to heal her childhood trauma. And the only way she's going to do that by going back to her childhood friends, trauma, and stuff like that and talk to them. It's first thing she needs to do, contact her dad. That was supposed to be the first mentor in your life. He's the one that was supposed to keep you off the pole because that was his role. Well, one of them at least.
Well, if he was a good father.
Yeah, and didn't
Because
like
then you
molest and
there's other, parental figures that are assholes and don't do that.
Or molest.
Exactly.
Or, not make them feel safe and stuff of that nature. Yeah. And they're psychopaths. Yeah. They're wrong up here.
Yeah. Is a chicken head a thought, a hoe, a bird, a jump off, all the same thing?
Yeah, it's just different eras.
Yep.
Chicken head was like my time. Thought is like today. Bird, my time. No. Jump off, no?
Bird, my time, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Jump off, yeah, my time.
Yeah. Promiscuous versus polyamorous. Are they similar or the same?
She nailed it.
Are they similar or the same? I've said.
So
or different. Yeah, no.
Relationship, definitely. Poly, promiscuous, not commitment.
Yep.
So you're just
polyamorous is in there. The amorous, that's the word for love.
Yeah.
Many loves.
And what it is it could be a closed relationship. Like I got my 2 or 3 women already. The door is closed. Nobody's invited in. And I'm just building an emotional attachment with them.
Oh, okay.
It's a relationship, committed relationship.
Exactly.
Promiscuous is like a swinger. It's a
free for all.
Yeah, like a swinger. Like I'm going to sex parties and I'm bringing my girl with me to sex parties. And every week I'm going out, meeting a dude, different girl, engaging. Like that's promiscuous. It's like I don't even want to say commitment phobe. It's a non-committed relationship or activity.
Is a hoe phase a problem? A codependency, and what will be the solution?
What do you think?
I think it is a problem if they don't see it as a problem, if they don't see that it's something that has to get rectified. Is it a codependency? I don't know.
It can be.
And what will be the solution? The solution is doing a lot of work on yourself, a lot of reflecting, a lot of growing, a lot of learning yourself, a lot of, healing through trauma, all that, and finding a partner that will, coming into when you're still trying to heal, an understanding partner. That's the word. Someone who's understanding.
Is a whole phase a problem? Depending on what you consider a whole phase. Let's say the woman being around a lot of male energy. We're not talking about sexual intimacy. It could be male friends.
That I don't see. To me, that's not a whole phase.
Yeah, and you're entitled to your own
That's what I'm
opinion.
saying.
But I just said depending on what people's view is of it is.
Okay.
So if my view of it is that, then it is that.
Okay.
So, and you're right about your answer.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say it's being around an array of male energy, and that's a whole phase at the same time, one at a time, they take turns, and it doesn't necessarily mean sex. How is that a problem? It is a problem. How is it a problem? Women don't naturally feel comfortable around male energy. And if I meet a woman tomorrow and she's comfortable around male energy, and I will be able to tell she's inviting me over already. I don't care what she says. She's used to doing that.
Okay.
I'm gonna she's already losing points. Being around an array of male energy and being comfortable with it, because remember, me, I make a lot of feminine women intimidated because I have high masculine energy, which I like because that's comfortable. But if you're able to take me right away and be like, yo, I want to be there, I'm gonna invite you here, and so like right away, you're used to doing that. You're used to being around a lot of masculine males, a lot of men who have thought they were alpha, didn't know the term, whatever it was, hood dudes, whatever it was. You're used to that. This is what you do. You have a track record of doing this. That's a problem because if you're building a connection with her and want commitment, she's not going to be able to be present in the dynamic. I said this with Carl. What episode was that? In studio.
Yeah, I remember.
I said the woman with the 80 bodies or the one body or two bodies but has a child. Which one are you taking? And he taking the 80 bodies because it's like, yo, the kid is that's the X factor. You see, a lot of men don't want to raise other men's kids and stuff of that nature. Boom. Okay. But the reality is this: pair bonding. That's an issue. She's gonna have an issue with that. Being in her feminine emotions, she's gonna have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Feminine women, especially in their divinity, they give their all. And when they give their all, they invest. That's why it's easy for them to be submissive there. Because they're giving their all. They're fighting your submission. They probably got DMs lined up. They feel like they got options. Why do I need to put all my eggs in this basket? That could be a reason why she's fighting your submission.
That's true.
Forget all that drama and stuff. Like women are submitting to men every day. They don't trust and respect. As soon as they open their legs, they're submitting.
That's true.
So the reality is like she's submitting. It may not be to the highest level, but she's submitting to a degree. So the reality is you want her to be present there. You want her to be a good girlfriend, wife, whatever it is, submissive if you live a different life. She's not going to be able to do it because she's so used to being around a lot of male energy. She feels like she has options.
Well, what if
she doesn't have a scarcity mindset? And a woman should have a scarcity mindset. It shouldn't be, I don't need you, I want you. That's a masculine mentality. It should be, I need you. I need a man. I need you specifically. It shouldn't be, I'm better than you. I got options. I don't need you. That's masculine. So she's already showing you that she's not giving emotions there. She's shutting her emotions. So if she's shutting her emotions, she's not powerful. And she can't even bring you any type of value as a man.
I have a question.
Peace. Structure, make you want to dominate her and love her because she cannot be submissive. And part of submission is an emotions. Go ahead.
What if she is a good girl, but she's comfortable in high masculinity because that's all she was surrounded. That's all. She doesn't have any sisters. She has brothers, father, and they're all like that.
Then she attracts a feminine man. If she meets a man like me, she has one or two options. You work on yourself because, like I said at the workshop, a woman who says, take me as I am, is going to bring you hell. Right. Because that means she's not trying to get in shape. She's going to be like, yo, I'm a donut. And I like being like this. You got to take me. I don't care if you like women that are fit. I'm not going to work to lose this weight. I got a bad attitude. I don't give a damn if that gets me in trouble. And you got to deal with it. I'm not following your leadership. F that. Every man that I had in a relationship, I ran them. I even choked dudes in bed.
Mm.
That's a problem waiting to happen. So the reality is like that man with me, a man like me, you have one or two options. You work on yourself and you work on healing, and I will help you if you're willing to accept my leadership and follow it and allow me to be your mentor as well as your man, dominant and stuff. You're everything. And you are willing to give your all. Or you leave. Because there's no alternative for me. This is the only relationship I want and I like. Those are it. But I'm not saying every man is like this. I'm just giving you an example because I'm here.
Right.
But if she meets another man that says, yo, it's this way or not, that's the only alternative. But due to polarity, sexual polarity, emotional polarity, mental polarity, she's bound to meet and gravitate towards the feminine guy because she wants control, remember? It comes down to the analogy
Well,
of
how do you know she wants control?
immovable object versus the irresistible force. Wind, big ass rock. I always use this analogy. The wind is trying its hardest to knock the rock over, but it's immovable. It's stubborn. It's steadfast. It's not going anywhere. The only option you have is to submit or run away because the wind's objective is to knock something down, run all over it. So the reality is, if you bump heads with the alpha guy or the high masculine dude, you are just gonna run to somebody that you can control, run and manipulate and knock the fuck down. You see what I'm saying? So there's no middle ground for it. If she wants to be with this man, she adjusts because she knows this is what he likes and I want him.
Right. Well, I think that's what I was just trying to get at. That comfortable in, with masculinity doesn't
No woman is
necessarily-
comfortable. Sorry.
But that's what I'm saying.
Sorry
she
to
can
cut you
be.
off.
She can be if she's grown up with just cousins, brothers, and a dad.
Sorry to cut you off. No woman is comfortable with masculinity. You want to go? You want to go out into New York and ask some people on the street once again?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll write this topic down. Then women are not comfortable. You could ask 100 women out there. Do you want to be provided for? Do you want this? Do you want to keep doing what you're doing? Going through stress, your job? I guarantee a lot of them will be like, it would be nice to be taken care of.
Yeah, I
it
agree
would be
with you on that.
exactly.
Right.
They're tired of it.
Right. I'm going back to this. When
It's
you
not
said
no woman. You said women like it. No, they don't.
I didn't say like it. I said if a woman is used to being around masculinity, it could be because of her family situation. It doesn't mean that she's going from one guy to another guy to another guy. Just because she is used to it also doesn't mean that she's trying to control the guy that she's with. It's just,
She is.
how do you know that?
You don't have to know or have facts to know that. If she's around male energy constantly, I guarantee you, and all of them are friends, I guarantee you she's controlling that shit. We're looking at sexual arousals versus relationship. The reason a lot of men stay in the friend zone is because there's no sexual arousal there. There's no respect. There's no respect. I don't respect you. You nice and you make me feel good because of the things that you say and we're agreeable, but I don't respect you. I'll never say that because I'll be being a bad friend. I don't respect you. Respect for women is what is equate to attraction. And that also leads to sexual arousal for women. May not be for men. But for women in general, you in the friend zone is because she doesn't respect you. 1, 2, there's no sexual arousal there. There is arousal maybe mentally. He has great conversations. There is arousal there emotionally. Oh, he touches my heart with his nice words. Pandering. He's simping for me. It's so great. But the reality is, there's no arousal there. And that's what makes her want to pursue that relationship. Sex matters to a lot of women. And let's even go in further. Maybe not even sex, just being aroused by you. Damn, his masculinity arouses me. Look at my man. He's taking charge. Girl, my man does the do. He do what he do. That shit fire. That shit turn me on. Make my shit twitch, throb. But if you with the friend zone guy and he don't do that, she don't talk to her friends like, hey, I got this guy in the friend zone. I'm thinking, no, there's a reason why you got them in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So the reality is like, she's not going to be happy to be around that. She's not going to like being masculine. On top of that that she constantly is engaging in it and is around it, she also had no man, I will reiterate, no man to tell her what she's doing is wrong.
Yep.
Because those friend guys are probably scheming to get the pussy. So all they're going to do is agree. So ain't no man in her circle. And now, are they really friends? They probably not friends now. Because a real friend would tell you the truth. Get your shit together, girl. They would tell you the truth. So the reality is, like, you know, those guys are not holding those women accountable. And she never met it. So now when she meets that guy who's different, that's the difference. Now she might move different. Now she might be thinking, damn, it is a problem to have male friends. I shouldn't be using them. I shouldn't be leading them on. I shouldn't be using them for the conversation. I'm mad at this guy. So now I'm talking about this guy with my friend. Because a shoulder to cry on eventually might be a dick to ride on. Or maybe not if there's no sexual arousal. So it's like it's bad on both parts. Especially the woman. She's the control factor in that dynamic. She's determining where she's putting that guy.
Yep.
She's leading him on. So she's the biggest problem. You know, this whole phase is a problem. Eventually, women want relationships. They want commitment. They want family and stuff of that nature. It can be a codependency. That's a problem. A codependency is like a drug. Like you're an addict for it. Like a sex addict, a nymphomaniac. You can't control your shit. You got a sexual appetite. You can't control it. Control your shit. Control yourself. That's part of holding yourself accountable. It's responsibility. You know what I'm saying? This is the solution to it. I could do it, girl, but I'm not. If I start out doing this, what could happen in 2 years? If I put myself out there like this, what can happen in 2 years? If I have kids in 5 years, what would they think about me? And how would I explain that? A lot of women don't think like this though, but they should. This is the solution to the problem. Accountability. That's the solution. And when you are accountable of yourself, you don't need people to hold you accountable. That is when you are 90% healed. That is when you are 90% healed. You have any final thoughts?
No.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real discipline therapy podcasts. Peace.